Was that an insult? I'm not even sure I really like that smell. And something gross is coming up. Low quality albums, cards you forget to send in. I gotta say, it's pretty good. Like a cross between rotting fish and garbage. Some people don't really like my sense of humor. Good morning on this beautiful Wednesday morning where it's currently 68 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning. Somewhere back there is Bailey and Bolt. Today I've got a packed agenda today. It's packed full. But before I talk about my packed agenda, I wanted to welcome all the new viewers here because I have been getting some new subscribers here at Freakin' 2. So welcome to all of you who have decided to join. If you're wondering what this channel even is, it's kind of been a work in progress. It's been evolving over a 2-year period. But it's kind of settled into some sort of a weird hybrid between food taste tests and vlogging. And the vlogging doesn't always have anything to do with a taste test. You know, you have food vloggers that talk about food the whole time. I don't. I talk about Gen X stuff, sarcastic complaints about random stuff, and just hanging out with you guys while I'm filming. So again, welcome to the new viewers and those who've been around for a while. I appreciate you sticking around because according to some comments, some people don't really like my sense of humor. And they don't like the way I eat my food either. To those people, I say, why are you even here? If you ain't enjoying it, you should be watching something else. Go watch Mr. Beast. I'm sure you probably enjoy that. Was that an insult? Regarding my pack today, I've got a couple of food taste tests that seem pretty interesting. I've got some work to do for Freakin' Reviews as well. In fact, I'm gonna do that early in the morning, I think. Got a lot to do, let's get started. I just finished up my coffee grinder test. I had to change my shirt because as you can see, I have a red shirt on now. I had a dark shirt. When you're doing product reviews, your shirt really shouldn't compete with the color of the product. So dark product, lighter shirt. In the old days, it didn't do that. My products would just disappear into the background. Hopefully after 10 years, I'm starting to learn something about this stuff. We interrupt this vlog for a Freakin' 2 food and drink taste test. On today's menu, I've got the Jack Link's Doritos Nacho Cheese Jerky. And I'm gonna wash that down with the new Mr. Pibb Punchin Peach. Let's get started with the main course here. I believe this is a relatively new flavor. They say 2 legendary brands, 1 epic snack. Is that the case? Yeah, let's open this up. Let's take a sniff test here. That's an odd smell. It kind of smells like meat and Doritos. I don't know. I'm not sure about that smell. I'm not even sure I really like that smell. Now, I don't see any Doritos cheese anywhere on here. It looks like a nondescript hunk of jerky, but looks can be deceiving. Let's try it out. I'm double checking inside to make sure there aren't any pieces with like a bunch of cheese on it. I don't see any cheese. Do I taste it though? Let's see. I get the flavor, but the Doritos arrive like halfway through the party. When you first bite into it, you're like, I don't taste any Doritos. And then you're like, oh yeah, I kind of do. And then it kind of disappears. It arrives late and leaves early. But you know what though? Maybe it's better to have it subtle. It is very subtle. Does it taste like Doritos though? It kind of does. Good thing I have some actual Doritos here to compare it to. One more piece of the jerky here. Jack Link's Jerky. Halfway through. That Doritos flavor does arrive, but it's always late. Let's try doing actual Dorito now. Try them together now. You know, when I try them together, I realize this does taste more like Doritos than I thought it did. The jerky flavor and texture just so overpowering. That Doritos flavor is in there. It's not very prominent, but that might be a good thing. If you're picking this up thinking it's gonna be some overwhelming Doritos flavor, it's not. But on the other hand, if you pick it up thinking it might be some pretty good tasting jerky, it is. I feel like Jack Link's fans may not be disappointed, but Doritos fans might be a little bit because this one is way overpowering over this one. It's good, but the Doritos are pretty distant. And with that, let's move on to Mr. Pibb Punchin Peach. I don't think there was a 0 version of this yet. There's also a vanilla, which I couldn't find, but we'll start with this one and take it from there. Here we go. Oh wow. You get inundated with a peach the moment it touches your lips. It's very peach forward. The peach is way out front. And then everything else kind of settles into that familiar Mr. Pibb flavor with the peach on top of it. I gotta say, it's pretty good. If you're a fan of Mr. Pibb, you definitely want to try this one. Peach soda, you know, that can really be a disaster. That sounds like it may not be that good. But the makers of this one seem to know how to get the flavor balance just right. Peach heavy early on, and then the rest of the flavors arrive. It's not overly sweet, because this is not the 0 version. This is a 240 calorie regular version. If you were afraid this might be an overwhelming peach flavor, I don't think it is. I think that it's actually very good. You never really know some of these flavors how it's going to go. To me, I think this one, they did a nice job with it. I've picked this up at Walmart. Your mileage may vary. And with that, let's get back to the vlog. Now for a very sharp change of pace here. We go from food and drink to dead flies. If you're one that thinks fly paper is mean, you might want to skip this part. This has been a weird winter and spring. I've got weeds and I got flies all over this yard. Now in a previous vlog, I showed you the rescue pop fly trap that I had put on my wall, which is so gross right now that I'm not even going to show it. It's pretty gross. But what I've done, I figured out how to level that up. You see that bucket up back there? It's in the bucket. I have it covered up right now. Now the stench of that thing, it smells like, you ever be on the beach and you smell like a dumpster, which smells like a cross between rotten fish and garbage? That's what it smells like. It's awful. Flies love it though. To them, that's like us smelling fresh bread or cinnamon rolls. They can't resist. Check out what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna level this up. I did this once the other day and the results were staggering. So prepare to be staggered. All right, so I'm taking my lid off here. There's already flies buzzing around this thing. The smell is so bad. Woof, wow, that stink. These are kind of a form of fly paper. They're like sticky sticks. I'm just gonna lay one across each side of the top of this trap here. By the time I come back at the end of the day, it'll be full of flies. Let's wait for the first one to land. It won't take long. Up, got our first victim. Now ideally, after doing this for a while, it'll kind of reduce the fly population around here. I'm not just doing this because I like killing flies, although there is something oddly satisfying about that. I'm hoping that if I can have traps out enough, that at least in my general area, I won't be so swarmed by flies. Because flies, they've been swarming. All right, are you guys ready? Now, I don't want to see anybody in the comments complaining that I'm showing you something gross, because I'm giving you warnings. Something gross is coming up if you don't like the sight of dead flies. So here it comes. I'm going to show you real quick. Only a few hours of this contraption can yield. Here we go. And there it is. Whoa. That's rough. That is rough. I'm hoping eventually this makes a difference in my yard. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm gonna do this for a while. And if it doesn't yield any results, I'll stop doing it. It seems like it's doing something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, like most days, this one's starting to get behind me. I'm starting to lose this day. So I'm taking a little bit of a break from my house, just trying to get out in the nice blazing heat here in March. But I was thinking about something earlier. I was having a conversation today with someone about streaming services. How everything's a streaming service now. Everybody wants to nickel and dime you. And I was thinking, we didn't really have anything like that back in the day, back in the 80s. We did have something. We did have a subscription service of our own. And it wasn't exclusive of the 80s, by the way. It was just my experience. And that was record clubs. Remember record clubs? My flex is that I had 3 different record club subscriptions over 3 different decades. I had Columbia House for 8-track tapes in the late 70s when I was a kid. Then I had RCA Record Club for albums in the 80s, and I had BMG for CDs in the 90s. The way that record clubs worked, for the most part, was they'd have ads all over the place. Get 12 albums for 1 penny. And then in the microscopic fine print, you'd be obligated to buy like so many albums at full price, which was way higher than normal price. And not only was that bad enough, not only were you paying like twice as much for their regular price albums, but then you also got a card every month. And if you didn't send that card in, they would mail you their selection of what you thought you would like, which usually was an album you would never want. And if you forgot to send your card in and didn't want it, you'd have to pay for the shipping and send it back. There was a lot of people out there gaming the system, though. I never gamed it, but I have to say, of those 3, Columbia for my 8-tracks in the 70s, RCA for the albums in the 80s, and BMG in the 90s for CDs. I liked BMG the best. I actually had BMG for quite a few years. Sometimes they had pretty good deals on the albums, but what a lot of people didn't realize is that the materials were actually lower quality. They had special pressings for these record clubs. In preparation for talking about this when I was at home, I pulled out an album that I still have from my RCA record club from the 80s, and that is a Rainbow album called Straight Between the Eyes. Check this out. All right, check out this Rainbow album, Straight Between the Eyes, which I got way back in the day. First thing to notice, the spine is actually on the front. It's not even lined up properly. And you can see on the back of the album, they have this right here. Manufactured by RCA. It is a special pressing, lower quality. And certainly not much attention to details right there. Low quality albums, cards you forget to send in, overpriced regular priced albums, yet they've persisted for decades. And yet, somehow I'm nostalgic for all that right now. If you guys remember seeing the ads for those record services back in the day, let me know in the comments because they were pretty iconic. And with that, it's time to head back home. Well, that's about it for this day. Between Jerky and Pibb and dead flies and music clubs, that's about enough for one day. Tomorrow is back to the grind with frequent reviews, and I gotta finish up that video over the next 2 days to post on Saturdays. Even though this vlog is over, my work is just beginning. But I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.